Proctor's plan to fix Raticate's teeth, get this, super glue.
Yeah, don't go to that dentist, am I right? Oh, you got a cavity? Well, just bring in the super glue.
Just fill it with some resin, it'll be fine.
Time for your prostate exam? Bring in the WD-40. Bring in the olive oil. Hello and welcome to Kill A Delibird, the premier Pokemon podcast where we combine the peanut butter and chocolate of Pokemon and fine literature. I'm your host, Graham. I kind of bring the literature side, or try to, but I've seen movies and read some comics, I guess. Our other side of that peanut butter chocolate combination is Kellan. How you doing, Kellan?
I'm lovely.
He's always lovely. Are you the peanut butter or the chocolate?
I don't care because now I just really want a Reese's.
Oh, don't we always? I thought you were going to bait me there and say I don't care because all I care about is Zelda again. For the past few weeks, this podcast has opened with nothing but, I wish I was playing Zelda. Why do we have to podcast? I'd rather play Zelda.
I'm getting close to the end. I'm almost done with it, I think.
Well, you know what? A game came out very recently that is doing that to me. So I'm finally the one who wants to be playing games constantly. Street Fighter 6 came out last week. And for those of you who are into old school arcade action, this is a treat. Holy moly, is it a good game.
Yeah, but you could be playing Zelda instead.
Yeah, but I could be playing Street Fighter. Trying to go up the ranks.
You could be making mechs and making cars and crucifying Koroks, and it's great.
Yeah, but you can punch and kick.
Yeah, but you can crucify Koroks.
Crucify? You've been making crosses again? That's actually creepy.
You can do it. It's a great time. There's a reason I've got over 150 hours.
And it is all reenacting biblical scenes.
Yeah, it's all about the Passion of the Christ featuring the Koroks.
Just various parts of the Bible. You're like, here's the Korok nativity scene, and over here's the Koroks sharing bread and fish.
I'm adding it to the list, the fan art list. Korok nativity scene, please.
Korok nativity.
Somebody, that's too good.
Yeah, that is something. So, Kellan, what are we actually going to be talking about this episode?
What are we doing today?
Yeah, tell us about the episodes a bit. We have another bit planned, but let's just talk a bit still.
We're doing episode 48, Attack of the Prehistoric Pokémon, and episode 49, A Chansey Operation. Now, I do want to, aside from this one other little bit we've got to do, I do want to keep banter to a little bit of a minimum, because these two episodes are jam-packed. These are two very dense episodes, and I think we're going to have a lot to go over.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think of these episodes? I thought they were
fantastic.
Bangers. Yeah.
They are so good.
They're hilarious and wacky. One of them moves the plot quite a bit forward. The other one doesn't, but is still a delight.
It's an absolute delight.
It's an absolute delight. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure you're on the same page of that. Although, I do think it would be interesting if we argued. We'll see if I can find some hot takes to splash against your cold, ice
Dead
bath
soul.
of an opinion. Yeah.
About what?
Well, nothing. I'd say your Pokemon knowledge is deep like the ocean, though. So I'll bring some rage. Okay, but yes, we do have a bit of a bit planned. So,
yeah, what's this other thing we're doing?
So for those of you just tuning in, our last 3 episodes now have had a bit of a running lore narrative around a fake classic called Pizza in Paris. So we made up on the spot.
It's not fake. What are you talking about?
Well, it's been realized, but yes, it was originally a fake classic about a person with high expectations getting pizza in Paris who is then let down. Last week, we had the AI ChatGPT write a short story version of it for us, and I read it on the podcast. This week, so our behind the scenes, our producer, Nolan, has gone absolutely wild getting ChatGPT to write Pizza in Paris using the writing style of all kinds of different authors. We're not going to go through all of them. Perhaps we will in the future, especially shout us out in the comments if you like this, and we'll definitely tune into more. But one of them that seemed especially funny, and you and I have only read at the beginning of it, so we don't actually know what all of this is going to capture. But this is Pizza in Paris in the style of a Shakespeare play, okay?
Because apparently Nolan has nothing fucking better to do at this time.
Well, this is worth it. This is an important contribution to society, as you will see in a second.
Yeah.
So I will do the narration, and I will play the role of Hamlet, and Kellan is going to play the role of Horatio. All right, are we okay to begin?
We are ready.
We are ready. Okay. Act 1, Scene 1. A pizzeria in the fair city of Paris. Enter Hamlet, a troubled soul, and Horatio, his loyal friend. To order or not to order, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the stomach to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous pizza, or to take arms against a sea of marinara, and by opposing end this dismal feast.
My lord, the taste buds oft deceive our senses, for the pizza here may not appease the palate, but let us not let this culinary woe drown thy sorrow in a sea of dough.
Alas, dear Horatio, it is not the pizza alone that weighs heavy upon my weary heart. My soul is rent by a lost love, a flame extinguished, whose memory haunts my every thought.
Speak, my lord, and unburden thy heart's lament. In friendship's realm solace may be found, and words like a soothing balm may heal the wounds of love's cruel parting and fortune's unsound.
Her name was Ophelia, fair and gentle, a flower of beauty, touched by madness' sting, but her untimely end, a tragedy profound, left me bereft, a prince in sorrow's ground.
True, my lord, love's path is fraught with pain, and yet Paris holds within its storied streets the promise of new love, a chance to mend the shattered fragments of a heart that yearns.
But can love's bloom take root amidst my grief? Shall I, like a phoenix, rise from ashes cold and cast aside the shadow of my loss to embrace a new affection unforetold?
Think not of love as a foe to thy past, but as a balm to heal wounds of sorrow. In Paris, where romance dances in the air, a second chance at love may yet be borrowed.
Thy words of comfort ring true, dear Horatio, like the sweetest melody to my ears. Together, let us explore the city of lights, and find within its labyrinthine streets love's reappears. Act 2, Scene 1, the enchanting streets of Paris. Hamlet and Horatio walk, their spirits lifted. In Paris, where beauty and passion entwine, I sense a flicker of hope, a newfound light. Love's flame once extinguished may yet revive, and guide me from darkness to joy's respite.
See, my lord, the city's wonders unfold, its gardens and boulevards a tapestry grand. Let Paris be a balm to thy soul's affliction, and in its brace love treasure demand.
I shall cast aside the bitterness of the past, embrace the present, and let love ignite. Paris, fair Paris, lead me to a future bright, where lost love's spectre shall fade into night. Exeunt Hamlet and Horatio, their hearts ablaze with hope, as the streets of Paris become their stage and love's grand performance unfolds. Okay.
Now, you can see that is written in the style of Shakespeare because, like when I did Shakespeare in grade 8 through 12, I understood absolutely fucking none of that.
What? Oh my god, do I need to teach you about Shakespeare?
No! I got enough of it in high school.
What do you mean you didn't understand any of it? I will say this starts strong and then kind of tapered off. Mm-hmm, I think that a lot of it was just Hamlet and Horatio saying that, Ophelia died. It basically ripped off Hamlet. They were like, Ophelia's dead. That's sad. Well, tomorrow's going to be better. Okay, let's roll. But the opening little bit was amazing. I kind of just want to read the first two stanzas again because they were the good part. Okay, so it was
after the first couple stanzas, it's just like Shakespeare words.
Just a re-gush of Shakespeare of Hamlet. Yeah, but this to order or not to order, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the stomach to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous pizza, or to take arms against a sea of marinara, by opposing in this dismal feast.
Beautiful.
That's good stuff. Okay, well, shout us out in the comments if you want more pizza in Paris. This has been our very strange departure into new kinds of bits, and we're always trying to cook up and think of something new. I think now let's dive into the episodes, though, because we're going to have fun discussing some of the comedic elements in these episodes for sure.
Yeah, these episodes are absolutely fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, that's all I can say without us getting into it. So let's jump into Attack of the Prehistoric Pokémon.
Okay, so I didn't really remember either of these episodes. Like, I might have seen them as a kid. I did not remember them. This one, actually, neither were what I expected. like this one wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a straight-up Jurassic Park ripoff. It is more like a Lost Land sort of journey to the center of the earth kind of thing.
With some Indiana Jones.
With some Indiana Jones, yes, very good. Yeah.
So the gang is in Grandpa Canyon now. Grandpa Canyon.
That is the name, Grandpa Canyon. It's kind of the Great Canyon?
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon. Oh my God, I just said Great Canyon. Cut that out, Kellan.
No, that's staying in. If you're going to berate me about not understanding Shakespeare, because it's been like 7 years, then you're going to get the flack of Great Canyon.
It's actually called the Great Canyon in its original Latin. Didn't you know that?
Oh yeah, really? It fucking is here. Okay, whatever. Whatever helps you sleep.
The Grand Canyon. Oh my God, what a faux pas.
But the Grandpa Canyon.
Yeah, what a place.
Is a place with an ancient secret. Holds an ancient secret. The gang sees a bunch of people marching along with some shovels and pickaxes. You know, hi ho, off to work we go.
Gold Rush energy all the way.
But not the gold rush. Everyone's here for the great fossil rush, including our good friend Gary.
Our good friend Indiana Gary Jones.
Been a while since we saw Gary.
Yes, it has. He's a little bit less sufferable this episode.
We don't see much of him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A little bit of Gary's fine. He's one of those people that you just like, okay, you would meet on the street every once in a while, say hi, and you're like, well, that's enough. I'm good.
Everyone's here for the great fossil rush. Ash plans to find a fossil before Gary, because Gary is berating Ash about some shit.
Yeah, and it's just, like it's usual. Competitive when Ash doesn't even know what's going on. So Gary appears, and right away Gary's like, you haven't heard about the discovery? Okay, what's this discovery? We don't really know, but it's apparently there's been fossils in this area, and all these people are there to get a hold of it. I guess Pokemon fossils, ancient Pokemon fossils are, it's just weird that like random civilians would all be doing this. Like when there's a dinosaur discovery, like it's done through institutions.
The archaeologists.
Yeah. So it's weird that it's this mad scramble.
They're not just like, hey, come dig up some fucking bones.
Right. And so when Gary appears, he's dressed as Indiana Jones. He's got the jacket, he's got the hat, and he's just berating Ash of not knowing anything. He's got his cheerleader squad back again. That's so weird.
Of course.
Egging Gary on to find all the fossils first.
Gary, he's our man. I don't remember the lyrics. I didn't write them down.
That was it. You did it perfectly.
Yeah. That was it.
You have a great memory and a great voice.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so Brock poses his moral opposition to digging up fossils. He's like, I don't know if we should be disturbing these things. What'd you think about that?
He doesn't present any arguments either. He's like, is it right to dig up fossils? And I'm like, I don't know. Go on.
Yes, they're like a billion years old.
But he doesn't. And then Misty's like, the fossils might want fresh air. They've been down there for so long. I'm like, okay, Misty, you're like too empathetic now. Because like, that's not really. I don't think they have lungs, so I don't know if they need fresh air. And then
their
Ash
lungs
goes,
disappear.
And then Ash. This was all just a setup for this joke. Ash goes, "It's your brain that needs fresh air." Bird.
Hey. And so we see now also that Jigglypuff is followed from the last episode.
That's going to be this reoccurring theme for a while, eh? That Jigglypuff's just. Okay, Is this going to be how episodes go from now on? That Jigglypuff is like the Deus Ex Machina? Like for like 20 more episodes?
I would say no, but I also could totally see that being the case.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So she's going to sing her song, but by the time she's ready, the gang has disappeared. They don't know that she's following.
No. She's a weird kind of stalker. Like a stalker that just wants to like sing for them.
But she's so cute.
Well, it's true. So if they're cute, then stalking's okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
If you're cute and you're a little pink puffball.
If you look like John Cusack, you can hold a boombox outside of my window, if you know what I'm saying.
So at the dig, at the Great Fossil Rush, Gary has found himself a fossil on his first try.
Yeah, it's a spirally kind of looking thing.
He gives it to this archaeologist who has a killer mustache.
Oh,
and he looks at it, and he's like, this is... And Gary's like, it's a fossilized brain. It's a brain of a Pokemon.
He's sure it's a fossilized brain. The cheerleaders are losing it. They're like, oh my god, Gary, you found a brain.
And then the archaeologist dude is like, this is literal shit.
This is a giant Pokemon turd.
But for real, it is fossilized ancient Pokemon poop.
Yep, I think he says manure, right?
Manure, yeah, manure.
Yeah. But it's poo. The cheerleaders freak out. They're like, gross, Gary.
And so Brock wonders if the Great Fossil Rush is even a real thing, since nobody seems to have found any actual fossils. All that's been found is this piece of shit.
So this is all a little bit weird. Is that, okay, he finds a fossilized shit. We're sort of led, like, Brock is speculating that this is a fake narrative, right? That but we started off hearing, there's been a discovery. Mm-hmm. So someone planted this stuff? Like someone planted an idea with someone and then all these people came?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that Team Rocket? They don't tie this thread up.
It couldn't be Team Rocket because their plan is to blow up the canyon and then take all the fossils. So they think there's fossils there too.
All right.
Speaking of Team Rocket, that's what we see next.
Speaking of Team Rocket, yeah, we see Meowth.
Yeah, he's waiting on Jesse and James and says something that the only thing you can... what was
Humans, the only thing you can depend on is that they're always undependable.
I knew you would write it down. I haven't been writing down these puns and stuff because I know you would be... I know you're writing them down. So
I like myself a sweet sentence. Yeah. I've been thinking, though, because a little peek behind the curtain. I write down all my notes by hand and get all kinds of cramps, and it's slow. I'm wondering if I should just like look up the dialogue for episodes and like copy the parts that I like, but I don't know. There's something about writing that makes me feel like a human.
I forgot you're fucking ancient.
It's just that, like, especially with the rise of AI and stuff now, it's like there's still something about doing some things the old-fashioned way that make you feel in touch with yourself.
Sure.
Right. Well,
yeah.
Meowth does stuff the old-fashioned way, including burning his companions, which is what was going on. Team Rocket jumps out from that rock and instantly goes into the chant. And it's just your typical chant.
Yeah, they get most of the way through it, but Meowth whacks him on the head with a hammer.
These lovely hammers, like orange and yellow.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, did you not plant the dynamite like you were supposed to? But they did. Their plan is, as we said, they're going to blow up the canyon, sky high, and then scoop up all the fossils. And the gang overhears this. Ash is going to stop Team Rocket, and Brock and Misty are going to go warn everybody that this dynamite is here, and they got to get the hell out of this place.
Right, so we've split up into two teams now. Ash, Pikachu, and I believe he brings out Squirtle are going after Team Rocket, and Brock and Misty are going to alert the people. So also more curtain peeking. When I make my notes, I use shorthand for the names, right? So like A and P are Ash and Pikachu. So whenever Brock and Misty team up, it becomes BM.
BM.
The bowel movement team.
Team soft poop.
Yeah. Team Krusty Loaf on the case.
Team stool softener.
Team Curly J.
I think that's enough of the poop jokes. I think we've hit our quota for the next 5 months.
Sewer snake. Okay, go on.
So Meowth lights the dynamite. They got this long-ass fuse, Ash tries to have Squirtle water gun the fuse, which should be the easiest thing. But apparently Squirtle doesn't understand the concept of leading your fire and like aiming where your target
the flame
is going to be. Yeah, he just keeps aiming for where the flame is, and like you don't even need to lead. You just get ahead of the fuse and just like
spray backwards.
Water gun on one little spot until the flame gets there, and boom, easy peasy.
So this fuse is extremely long. Meowth lit the fuse because they're going to blow up the bottom of the canyon, get the fossils. They start kind of at the top. Like they think they're going to be way away from the blast. And that's why this fuse that they're following is super long.
Yeah, and so Team Rocket send out their Arbok and Weezing to help keep the fuse lit. But Jesse and James trip over themselves.
Well, hold on.
Down the hill.
You missed a terrific line from Ash. Keep squirting. Okay, sorry. They're now following in a ball. This is like a Scooby-Doo-esque sort of bit. Like it's this long sort of route down the into the canyon, and when they fall, they become this big ball of just limbs and Arboks, and then that picks up Ash and Pikachu and Squirtle, and so they get down really quickly now, like much quicker than they were when they were just running.
And so the fuse is about to light up the dynamite. Pikachu, at the last second, thinks to himself, he panics. And he's like, okay,
this is
I'm going to shock it.
This is the
I'm
best
gonna shock
bit.
it. And he shocks it, and the horror on everyone's face, and then the realization on Pikachu's. Best sequence in the episode.
It zooms in on Pikachu.
It's so funny.
The background goes black with like a spotlight on his face, and it's that shocked Pikachu look that you know from the memes.
Shit.
And he gets a great use of the anime sweat droplet here. He gets this big anime-esque sweat drop, and you're like, and time freezes for a moment, and then boom, everything explodes. Oh my god, that was funny.
That's great. So it blows up, and it causes this massive fissure in the earth to open. And they all fall down, and a bunch of rocks cave in the top of this chasm. Somehow, Squirtle makes it out alive. He did not get trapped underneath.
The logistics of this explosion, where people go, pretty unclear. Definitely cartoon physics going on, because this explosion should have murdered everybody, but they're fine.
So Jigglypuff comes back again, thinks this is her prime opportunity to do her song. She looks at the rocks. She sees a stage, a big stage for her to put on the performance of a lifetime.
Ooh.
But they tumble again, and her little stage falls apart, and she gets real pissed about it.
Aw.
No song yet.
Poor Puff to the
tease.
J. Puffy J.
We look down below these rocks. Team Rocket and Ash have fallen into a cave. The dynamite seems to have blown open the ceiling of this cave, and they have fallen down below. They are in the depths of the earth, like in Zelda, where there's the depths you can go.
Great
and it's
analogy.
Great.
Yes.
It's great.
Well, Jesse thinks they got blown to the moon. And this is interesting, though, because Meowth, with his astute observational capacity, says this is a cave. We're deep under the Earth's crust. They are not deep under the Earth's crust. Because then he goes, the roof's right above us, but it's blocked. Well, okay. You had me for a second there, Meowth, but I don't know if you know what the Earth's crust is.
And then we get an interaction. James gets like this look on his face. He's like, huh. And Jesse's like, oh my god, you have an idea. This is great. What's your idea? And he just looks at them and goes, we're all doomed.
He's like, we'll blast off again, probably.
But Pikachu spots a series of haunting red eyes in the distance, peering at them from the depths of the cave.
Red eyes from the darkness.
And they come out of hiding. It's a horde of thought to be extinct Pokemon. It's Kabuto, Kabutops, Ammonite, and Amistar.
The Dex tells us that these creatures were believed to have been extinct 10,000 years ago.
Tens of thousands years
of years ago.
And
Let's talk through these creatures now. So we've got 4 new Pokemon. You want to describe and tell what these things are to the audience?
Well, we've described Kabuto before because it's the Pokemon Bill was dressed as in the Lighthouse episode.
Oh, right, yeah.
But Kabutops is the evolved form of Kabuto. It is terrifying. It is like Scyther, one of those Pokemon that if it existed in the real world, it's got blades for arms and it would be scary as fuck.
Apparently we were called out by a friend of the show, Landon, on a previous episode. It had messaged that we were talking about how scary Scyther would be in real life that we did not mention Kabutops. Here is the shout out. Kabutops.
We didn't get to Kabutops yet.
Scary.
So there it is. It would be fucking terrifying.
He's Edward Scissorhands.
And so otherwise it is, I don't even really know how to describe Kabutops. It's a bipedal rock guy. He looks like a fossil. I don't know.
Yeah, vaguely buggish, but also not long and skinny. He is nightmare fuel for sure. Like, he's a sleep paralysis demon in a lot of ways.
Not like Jinx, though.
A different kind of sleep paralysis demon. A more classical one. Jinx is like a new wave sleep paralysis demon. Bringing something new to the table.
Kabutops is arthropodic.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word I was looking for. But then there's Ammonite and Amistar. Ammonite is like a little snail dude.
Yeah, these are relatively cute, at least compared to Kabuto and Kabutops. Yeah.
All praise Lord Helix.
Oh, yes, from the throwback to Twitch Plays Pokemon, right?
God,
what a time to be alive that was.
Good old days.
Yes. Back when Twitch was innovative.
Got him. So yeah, Ammonite is a little cephalopod dude.
Ooh, cephalopod,
he's
nice
like
one.
A mollusk.
Yeah, his flesh is blue, his shell is gray.
He's very reminiscent of like a nautilus.
Ammonite is here to stay.
That's what his shell is. It's a nautilus.
Mm.
And he's got little tentacles, and he's a cute little dude. And then he evolves into Amistar, which is quite similar.
Quite similar. His face just gets a little more messed up. He's like the hardened, weathered Ammonite. He's like the Mickey Rourke of Ammonites.
Amistar's sprite in red and blue also gives it some real character because it looks like a disco star.
Oh.
It's great.
What's a disco star? You mean a disco ball?
No, a disco star, like a star of disco dancing.
What? Like a famous disco dancing fiend. Yeah. Okay.
That should not have been that difficult.
Oh, because what? You mean he's doing the staying alive? He's doing the Saturday Night Fever thing.
Yeah, he's got one hand on his hip, and then his other hand is in the air. He looks like he's doing a little disco dance.
Saturday Night Fever. There you go.
It's one of my favorite red and blue sprites.
Literary reference. John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever.
See, that's all those Pokemon. They're all cool. I really like all the fossil Pokemon, like through every generation. I don't think there's a single fossil Pokemon that I dislike.
They're pretty inspired because, to think of these things in contrast with the a lot of the rest of the Pokemon. Yeah, I think it was a clever idea.
Yeah, it just continues throughout.
So it keeps going. There's
series.
Do they get more dinosaur-esque? These aren't really dinosaur-esque.
Yes,
we'll see in this episode a dinosaur one. These are more, I don't know, primordial kind of early life form kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's like that in Gen 3. There were no fossils in Gen 2. Gen 4 is there's like one dinosaur. No, they're kind of both dinosaur-esque. One is more dinosaur than the other, but the other is kind of more like primordial stuff. Gen 5 has the turtle and the bird. The
turtle and the bird.
The bird is kind of dinosaur-esque. The turtle isn't, but it's like an ancient turtle.
Oh.
Gen 6 is straight up dinosaurs, though.
Okay. Well, I like the old turtle.
Oh, I love Caracosta's awesome.
Right.
We'll get to him in 600 episodes.
We like the ancient Pokemon. Team Rocket does too. They think that let's grab these Pokemon. We'll get so rich, we'll open a prehistoric park. It'll be bigger than Poke World. Yeah,
and Meowth's going to use it to fund a cartoon as well. Own cartoon.
A talk show or a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Meowth's talk show would be fucking hilarious. It'd be that Seinfeld episode with the Merv Griffin set and Kramer's
that's a good episode.
All over again, where he'll just be interviewing people. He'll be like, "So Ash, you stole Misty's bike and then ruined it. Tell us about that." Brock, you are not the father.
So we get a closer look at these fossil Pokemon. Their eyes are not how they are typically supposed to look. They're completely bloodshot.
Oh, yeah.
The running theory that Team Rocket and Ash have is that they were asleep and fossilized, but this dynamite explosion has woken them up from their thousands of years slumber.
I think this is funny because this is clearly a mechanism to communicate what's going on to children. to be like, hey, you know when your alarm clock goes off in the morning, how you feel like shit? Well, that's what these things are going through.
It's also a way to put them in the show, but try to go along with the lore that they are extinct and you could only get them from fossils in the OG games.
Right, these ones just took a real deep nap.
Yeah, I don't think I buy that theory. But
no, it makes no sense.
It makes no fucking sense.
We'll go with it.
So Team Rocket then tries to catch these fossil Pokemon, but they're too tough. They're not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, the balls just get swatted away.
Swaps away.
Mm-hmm.
Ash tries to use his Charmeleon to fight them because that's Ash. The greatest. These Pokemon are all rock and water type, Ash. They all quad resist fire and have two.
He didn't look up their types. And the other thing is he keeps insisting on using Charmeleon when he's been shown time and time again he can't control him. Now, I do think that this is probably a character choice where we know that Ash is stubborn, bullheaded, doesn't listen to authority. You can't reason with him all the time. He sees all of this as a challenge. He probably is pulling Charmeleon constantly, acting like he doesn't remember, but it's because he wants to prove to himself that he can control Charmeleon. That's not how it works, Ash. You gotta wait. You gotta wait, buddy.
He doesn't want to admit that Charmeleon doesn't listen to him. He wants to prove to himself and others that he can, in fact, control it, which he can't.
Yeah.
Ash, get another badge, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop using Charmeleon.
Yeah, agreed.
You noted the big ball earlier as being the Scooby-Doo-esque thing.
Oh, yeah, it gets Scooby-Doo-ier. Yeah.
I noted there's a Scooby-Doo-esque chase scene following where the fossil Pokemon chase them all.
I wrote down that exact phrase at this part. I wrote down Scooby-Doo-esque chase scene. I wrote that exact phrase down.
Those are my words. Those are my exact words as well.
Scooby-Doobian encounter.
That's the scientific analysis.
Yeah, so the Pokemon chase the gang, and they kind of go back and forth. Everyone's legs going akimbo. The Benny Hill theme song is playing in the background.
So back on the surface, we see Jenny talking to Brock and Misty, who are like trying to get the rocks out of the way. She says the bulldozers can't get down to the chasm, so they're going to have to all dig by hand. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of work. But Brock finally realizes he can use his Pokemon to help. So he brings out Geodude to help. I feel like Onyx could have been good help here.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing several options. Onyx. Is it also weird that, like, Jenny doesn't have Pokemon?
She should. Jennies typically have Growlithe.
Yeah, but is that it? Like, you'd think that...
That's all I know of.
You'd think the police force would have, like, all of these really aggressive armored Pokemon.
You would think, but that would require the show to actually make sense.
Right.
So...
Right. Yeah, or just have more real-world ramifications.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Jenny's Pokemon, the Kevlar type.
So Misty is thinking, I really hope Ash is alive. Ash, you gotta stick through this, because I need my bike back. You haven't got me my damn bike yet.
You owe me a bike, you piece of shit. Don't you go and die on me, or I'll come down to hell and get that bike out of your cold, dead hands.
So back below the surface in the cave, Arbok and Weezing have got caught by the fossil Pokemon. Pikachu tries to hit him with the Thunder Shock. It just kind of tickles the Kabutops, even though all these fossil Pokemon are supposed to be weak to electric. But whatever. They're all water types. Fucking, who cares? Charmeleon's still napping, though. He being a sleepy boy.
Yeah, he's napping. Ash has another good sweat drop here. Like, it's pretty pointless, he's thinking. And Meowth starts to hear something.
Suddenly, all the fossil Pokemon stop attacking. They run away. And we see, from the depths of the cave, once again, another Pokemon emerges from the shadows. It's an Aerodactyl! Flies in.
Ooh.
And smacks Charmeleon to start. Who's sleeping on the rock.
I love this trope, actually, where you've got a bunch of these monsters, and they seem pretty tough, but then they scatter. And for a moment, you're relieved. For a moment, you're like, oh, is that threat gone? And you're like, wait, something made them run. Something even
bigger,
more terrible.
Scarier monster.
Yeah.
So Aerodactyl is a pterodactyl.
Great name.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
It's like a rock pterodactyl.
Yes.
Kinda.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's a rock pterodactyl.
Okay. So yeah,
it's
it
a
just
rock
looks like
type,
a giant pterodactyl. It's the pterodactyl of the 90s, where it's all leathery, no feathers. The Dex tells us it's a carnivore. Meowth says, I hope it doesn't like cat food.
Yeah, so he's going to try and eat everybody.
Yeah, he's a hungry boy. He's been sleeping down there for tens of thousands of years. And there's a KFC nearby.
But because Aerodactyl swiped at Charmeleon on his way in, Charmeleon has finally kind of woken up, and he wants his revenge, and he wants it bad.
Put him up there, bud. Put him up.
Put him up. Put him up. Come at me, fellow.
He's waxing his mustache.
Aerodactyl grabs Ash in its claws.
Oh, boy.
Flies off with him out of the cave. The cave entrance has been opened by now.
The roof.
Does it burst through, or wasn't it open?
Well, a bit of both. It was a pickle jar scenario. They were loosening it, but a pterodactyl, yeah, he comes in.
Not the first time you made the pickle jar analogy.
It covers a lot of life, and pickles are life, pickles are love, all of that. A good garlic dill.
One thing I noted was that this Aerodactyl seems quite large, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what the canon height of Aerodactyl is supposed to be?
Folks, bringing out the math. Yeah, no.
You know what it's supposed to be?
I do know. Hold it for a second. I do know that, at least in the past games, the heights and sizes of a lot of the Pokemon are way smaller than you'd think, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's hear it.
Aerodactyl is supposed to be 5'11".
Oh, so just like an average-heighted person.
Yeah. This thing looked like 12 feet tall.
Yes. It
looked
monstrous. It looked monstrous. It was a kaiju. It was like a Mothra.
And on that same note, I'm trying to get there now, but Charizard typically looks really big in the anime, right?
Yep. He looks like a dragon. Yeah.
Charizard's canon height is supposed to be 5'7".
There you go.
I'm taller than
shorter.
a Charizard. I'm taller than a Charizard.
Yeah.
I'm like 5'7" and a half, 5'8".
Yeah, you
something
could
like
bump into a Charizard. Oh, sorry there, bud. Didn't see ya. That is weird. That is weird. There seemed to be something. I don't know where those original canon sizes came from. They clearly just picked a number, and then later
they're in the original Pokedex. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Yeah, I know, but it's like the thought that went into them. I don't think was the same that when they started cartoonifying it, when they started animating it, that they go, oh, that's a little weird.
Aerodactyl has perched with Ash on top of this cliff.
End of days.
Back to Jigglypuff, she spots some industrial digging lights. She sees it as a stage, another stage.
Yeah, remember how I compared Jigglypuff to Don Quixote? That totally checks out. Everything she sees is through the lens of her own fantasy world. It's beautiful. And Misty sees the potential here. She's like, well, we got to get you singing, because that big beast, if you can knock him out, we'll listen to you later. Don't worry.
Yeah, she strikes a deal with the Jigglypuff. They shake on it and everything, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
they spit in their hands. Yeah. The whole thing. Yeah.
Charmeleon and Aerodactyl start taunting at each other. Through this taunting, Charmeleon starts to glow.
Oh,
he evolves into Charizard.
Duh! Yeah, and everyone's freaking out. They're like, holy crap, it's Charizard! Charmeleon evolved! It was like a rage evolution. He was just like, oh, man.
Yeah, so Charmander spent 32 episodes as a Charmander.
Yeah.
Then he evolved into Charmeleon.
Mm-hmm.
From that point where he evolved into Charmeleon, I'm not counting that episode because it's right at the end, Charmeleon was a Charmeleon for 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
We saw 2 full episodes. We saw him in one of them. So we saw Charmeleon for 1.5 episodes, and then he evolved again.
I honestly feel like when I'm playing the games that the middle evolution, it does feel like a bit of a blink sometimes. You remember you remember the first Pokemon because it's the beginning of the game, and you remember the last one because there's all this end game content. But then that middle evolution is kind of like, who dat?
That middle one always felt so long to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was short. Fuck you, buddy. You still there?
Okay.
No, I'm just... Are you still there? Did I hurt your feelings?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good. Good.
I was wondering if you couldn't hear me or something. Okay, yeah, so Aerodactyl is about to take a bite out of Ash.
Oh, yeah.
But Charizard comes in to save the day and starts this wicked air chase. I love this stuff.
This is sick. Battle of Britain dog fighting nonsense.
I'm a fucking bitch for a good air fight.
Yeah, when is there going to be like a Star Fox Charizard spin-off game? Like it'd be like Panzer Dragoon, like the Sega games, like a rail shooter where you're on Charizard. Oh, that'd be good.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Ash thinks Charizard. He looks at Charizard. He's like, Charizard, you're doing this for me. I thought you didn't want me to be your trainer. You evolved to save me. No, Charizard just wants his revenge.
He evolved for beef. He evolved out of beef.
Out of pure rage, he evolved.
Yeah, can you just see the game chat of these two? Like, Aerodactyl's like, GG, and Charmeleon's like, oh, you haven't seen anything. Except that rematch. Charmeleon's talking about Aerodactyl's mom. Aerodactyl's like, my mom is 100,000 years old.
My mom's dead. So Misty hits the lights. Jigglypuff starts to sing. Everyone's starting to fall asleep except Charizard. Charizard was smart enough to plug his ears. Which didn't work for Team Rocket last episode, but...
Yeah, I know. Sure. I thought that was going to be a fake out, but I guess it worked.
So Aerodactyl falls to sleep and drops Ash into the air. Charizard swoops down. He doesn't give a shit about Ash. He still does catch him, though. Still saves him.
Yeah, that was nice. And what do you think of that? So we had just seen that the narrative was that Charizard doesn't give a fuck. He just wanted to fight. But he does grab Ash. He does save Ash's life.
Yeah, I guess he has some moral backbone.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm not an animal. I'm not a monster.
But Aerodactyl falls back down into the cave, into that little hole that they left in
Conveniently
the
falls right through the hole.
The force of the impact of the landing caves the entrance back in. All the fossil Pokemon are trapped back in the cave. Everything's all right. Ash rolls off of Charizard next to some strange egg, and Jigglypuff, pissed off, writes on everybody's face again.
The land of the lost becomes lost to the land once again.
Ooh, deep.
No.
How deep?
Deep like that hole Aerodactyl fell through.
So once everyone's awake, Jenny gaslights everyone into believing that it wasn't a real Pokemon.
What is
this
police-sponsored fake news propaganda agenda?
She's like, that was not... You may have thought you saw an Aerodactyl, but it was just a dream caused by Jigglypuff's song. There are no prehistoric Pokemon here, even though Ash nearly fucking died.
Oh, yeah.
But okay.
This makes me want to start a subreddit, Pokemon Conspiracies. Jenny's clearly lying to everyone during the Grandpa Canyon incident. Here is my evidence.
What are they trying to hide from us?
The truth must be revealed.
Don't listen to Big Archaeology.
No.
What I say.
Yeah, it's all a scam. Jenny's in on it.
So the gang's back on the path, and Ash reveals he took that egg that he landed next to with him. Brock wants to keep it for himself. He's the breeder. Misty also wants to keep it for herself, I think. But
more on that this egg in the future.
That egg will become very prominent in a few episodes.
Yeah, big white egg with some colorful specks on it.
Some red and blue triangles on it. Interesting. And back to Team Rocket. They're still in the cave, worrying about waking up these prehistoric Pokemon that have gone back to sleep. And the last thing we're left with in this episode is a screech from the Eyre-odactyl, leading us to believe that he wakes up and mauls Team Rocket to death.
And Team Rocket has died, completely unknown to the rest of the world. Their existence, this whole dilemma, of course, being purged from the written word by Jenny and her police state authoritarian control. Wow, what a time.
Until the next episode.
Until the next episode when they're just back. How do they get out?
Come back to life. Who fucking knows? Yeah. They ascend out of it like in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my god, they're Zelda protagonists.
Yes.
They're Link.
Let's go. But that's the episode. Let's go.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. I had a tough time with literary hours these weeks. There's obvious ones, so I'll rattle them off. Like, we could talk about Jurassic Park because there's dinosaurs, but it doesn't actually have a lot to do with Jurassic Park, except for the brief mention of Team Rocket's scheme to capture the Pokemon and start a theme park, which would be Pokemon Jurassic Park. And that would be cool when the Aerodactyl goes crazy there and starts killing the visitors. You know, that'd be quite the movie. There's Land of the Lost, right? That was like an old show, I believe, with some vibes. There is Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth, which I have talked about before and given a shout out to the old movie of the name. That is probably the most similar because that has to do with hole in the earth go down. There's these ancient creatures there who have been living for a long time. So that's the closest analogy, really, I think, is Journey to the Center of the Earth. Is there anything really about gaslighting? I mean, of course, there's Indiana Jones, but no, I think Journey to the Center of the Earth is the best for a setting sort of analogy. What kind of personal themes do we have here? We have about the rivalry. We have about anger through Charmeleon.
We
have
rage
beef.
makes you grow.
Rage makes you grow. Shout out to the Netflix show Beef. There's a show on there called Beef about these two people who end up in a feud over a traffic incident that just grows really, really deep, and their lives are all fucked up, and they're trying to one up each other. Shout out to Beef. It's actually pretty good. That's basically Aerodactyl and Charizard. It's the show Beef. Yeah, you got any thoughts on those themes?
No.
No thoughts.
I don't know. I don't really pick out themes.
Where's your yes anding? You could have even just made a joke. You could have gone theme. What am I? Dream? No, that doesn't work. Theme. What am I? What am I? An English teacher? Bird.
See, that's why I don't do the yes and all the time, because that was terrible.
Well,
would have not.
It's better to be stupid when doing a podcast, is what I always say. I do want to move on, though.
I think the theme is don't get messed up with pterodactyls.
Yeah, that is. The theme is if you accidentally set off an alarm clock for 10,000-year-old monsters, get the fuck out of there.
Life lessons with Pokemon. All right, let's four-port. Let's rate this thing.
So this is where we're going to randomly select 2 categories to rank this episode based on each category. We'll receive a number out of 10 by us. This is an objective ranking system because it's random, and the universe is random. So there you go.
All right, first category for Attack the Prehistoric Pokemon will be animation.
Well, we get the aerial battle. I mean, it's not cool. Super fluid, but it's a great, very exciting, very exciting. The ball of people, the running parts are fun. Definitely decent. Yeah.
That's like 6.
Yeah, I was going to say 7. No meaty Sakuga that I remember, but...
Oh, but no, there totally was. There was the, when Pikachu blew up the dynamite. I forgot about that part.
Well, that wasn't Sakuga, but that was...
it was funny. That was animation.
Just so good. You're right. That was a really good
That pumps it up. That actually, I'm going to say 7.
Okay, 7's all around. Yeah, that part was, genius.
All right,
Very
category
funny.
2 will be the anime mom energy.
The only anime mom here is whatever laid that egg.
Hey-oh.
No moms. Maybe roll it down.
But isn't that the beauty of the 4-4? That we don't?
No. But there's no mommy. Just the egg layer. Well, no, I'm okay. Where else would the mom energy come from? A little bit from Jenny with her gaslighting, like an awful mother. I can't go any higher than a 2.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Deal or no deal? It's a 2.
So that is 4.5 for Attack at the Prehistoric
That episode
Pokemon.
Sucked. 4.5. I want my money back.
All right, let's go on to episode 49. A Chansey Operation.
This episode fucking ruled.
It's such a good episode.
It was hilarious. It goes nowhere. It comes from nowhere. It goes nowhere. If I was watching this as a kid, I probably would have hated it because I liked, battles and when is the next big thing happening, right? But this is the Dragon Ball Z episode where Goku and Piccolo get their driver's license in a nutshell. This is the filler to end all filler. And it's so funny.
It's so good. So we open up, we see Pikachu is in a tree. He's picking fruit, picking some apples. Something happens, and he falls out. Seems to have passed out. We don't really know what's wrong.
Old cartoon X for I syndrome.
He seems to be losing his voice. Something may be stuck in his throat. So Ash turns him over and tries to shake it out. Ash, don't shake the baby.
He holds Pikachu up by the feet He's gonna
It's so dangerous.
Achilles dip him in the river kind of thing, and it's gonna shake him. But they stop him. Misty and Brock are like, "You fucking idiot! You'll make it worse."
They're gonna take him to the center, but unbeknownst to them, there isn't one for miles. The narrator tells us there's no Pokemon Center nearby whatsoever, so they have to go to the hospital.
The human hospital.
But it's closed. Who fucking closes the hospitals in this place, in this country?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Well, that's why I would love to dive into how everything is funded, how the infrastructure works, because the core support systems are quite poor in all of Kanto. But a doctor does open the door. I'm going to call him George Clooney. Opens the door. He is a handsome soap opera star of a doctor, but he's also a fucking weirdo.
And a fucking creep.
Exactly, a creep, yeah.
And he seems wholly uninterested in helping anybody until Misty begs. And
he says, "I can't turn down a pretty face," and he thinks he thinks Misty needs the help. Misty's a 10-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So he thinks Misty is the sick one. She's like, "No, it's not me. It's Pikachu. There's something wrong with Pikachu." And he's like, "Well, I'm a human doctor, but
I'm a specialist in human medicine.
But I can't refuse requests from young girls."
Oh. Yeah, what a gross guy.
But he's on the case. We learn his name, Dr. Proctor.
Dr. Proctor.
That's just fun to say.
It really is. So he's checking Pikachu. Something stuck in Pikachu's throat is his diagnosis.
But his charge is also very low. So they're going to defibrillate him 10,000 volts.
Oh, yeah, this was cute, right? He determines the electric pressure and Pikachu is low. He has like this little device that he holds to Pikachu's cheeks. For not being a Pokemon hospital, he actually has a weird amount of knowledge about the Pokemon. Mm-hmm. He's doing fine.
So they shock him. He's back up, and he does the whole say ah thing routine with Pikachu, which is so cute.
Yeah.
Pikachu doing the ah. Oh, God, I love it. But Dr. Proctor shoves his hand down Pikachu's throat to remove the blockage. Pikachu shocks the shit out of him, but Dr. Proctor is able to pull a full-ass apple out of Pikachu's throat.
An entire apple.
Pikachu, and how did you do this?
Not a crab apple. This is like a full Honey Crisp. This is a meaty apple.
If Pikachu swallowed an apple whole, I feel like Pikachu should be dead of choking.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked at all.
That should have blocked his airway completely. It's
or
half his size.
You think his head would be all deformed.
Yeah.
The apple-sized flesh displacement.
So Dr. Proctor then berates Ash for being a shit trainer and tells him to go home. And Ash is like, "What the fuck are you on about? Do you think I would let my Pikachu swallow an apple whole? Who the fuck do you think you are?"
The doctor's like, "You're a terrible trainer letting him do this." And Ash is like, Are you taking in this situation at all? Do you see? Do you feel the situation? A whole ass apple.
And so Brock notes that Dr. Proctor seems to have a thing for pretty girls, and Misty's like, "Yes, so do you."
Yeah, this is great because Dr. Proctor is Brock in 20 years.
Yeah.
Brock doesn't like Dr. Proctor. Looking in the mirror, kind of an ugly sight, Brock.
So we go back to Dr. Proctor back in the receptionist area. He notes that he should have become a lawyer. He shouldn't be a doctor. He should have been
a lawyer like my mother said.
And he ignores an incoming call because he's off duty.
I'm off duty. I'm going to go drink with the boys.
Dude, best doctor ever.
What a George Clooney.
Is fucking refusing to answer this call. So the gang answers it.
What if it's an emergency, you fucker?
Because these children are more responsible than any of the fucking adults in this show. Yeah.
So Ash answers, and it's Joy.
There seems to have been a car accident, and a lot of Pokemon are injured. The Pokemon Center nearby does not have...
carrying Pokemon has been in an accident. The Poke Center is too full to deal with the situation.
A man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
Lassie, who fell into the well?
So there's not enough capacity at the Pokemon Center to take on all these Pokemon. So they're going to have to send some to the emergency hospital. And Dr. Proctor asks Joy out for pizza.
Oh my God.
His priorities are in check.
Proctor's hitting on everything. He is actually Brock in 20 years. Like,
Yeah, because Brock then notes, I don't like this guy. He sounds like me.
the sound of his own voice is like poison.
Dr. Proctor tells the gang that, if all these Pokemon are going to come here, we need some help. You're going to be my assistants. We're short-staffed. This hits close to home. The Canadian healthcare system. We're very, very short. We need more. We need more people. Come on.
Yeah, definitely.
Chop, chop.
Yeah, so, and also we kind of find out that all it takes to work in a hospital is a nice outfit.
This was a missed opportunity for the show. Why was Pikachu not wearing a doctor's coat?
Oh, that would have been so cute.
Come on.
And like a little stethoscope. Yeah.
Ugh, would have been adorable.
Well, the doctor says they never told us about this in med school.
So a Chansey runs in with a balling Cubone on a stretcher.
Right. So most of the Pokemon in this episode we've seen before. We've talked about Chansey probably, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Giant pink egg who has an egg, and it's friend to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they're nurses, right? The Chanseys always work as nurses.
Yeah, pretty much. They're Joy's helper Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And have we ever talked about Cubone? Has Cubone been in the show?
Yeah,
yet?
we talked about Cubone. So it's like a little dinosaur, a very cute little lizard guy, and he wears a skull on his head.
His mother's skull.
Oh, that is creepy.
Yeah.
so all of the Cubones have dead moms.
Yep.
And they all wear their skulls on their heads.
Canonically, yes. That is how that works.
Right. So the Chansey wheels in the crying Cubone. We get this great line, prepare for a Cubone scan.
So we need the Cubone scan. To keep Cubone under control, Ash decides he's going to have Bulbasaur hold him down with a Vine Whip. Dr. Proctor is like, what the hell are you doing? Ash.
I thought that wasn't a bad idea.
Be gentle. Yeah, apparently now Dr. Proctor cares.
But Doctor's like, too violent, man.
So Misty tries to help. The scan has come in now. Misty has to repair the bone fractures with super glue.
This is great. Dr. Proctor really likes super glue. Did you notice that?
This is a go-to.
This isn't the only time he tells people to fix things with super glue. Okay, so they're going to glue up the Cubone's skull, and that will fix why the Cubone is upset, I guess. I don't know. It's like Dr. Proctor is somehow like a buffoon and a little bit competent. He's a sitcom doctor, right?
Yeah. And so Misty is able to calm the Cubone down. Proctor acknowledges she seems to have a knack for this. I don't know if we'll ever see this again, but whatever. Team Rocket comes in there too with their Pokemon because we learned earlier.
They were the cause of the accident.
Because of course they were.
Of course.
So they've come in with their Pokemon. They have Arbok is in like a stare down with Eradicate, whose teeth have been like destroyed. They've been chipped.
Oh yeah.
Proctor's plan to fix Eradicate's teeth, get this, super glue.
Yeah, don't go to that dentist, am I right? Oh, you got a cavity? Well, just bring in the super glue.
Just fill it with some resin, it'll be fine.
Time for your prostate exam? Bring in the WD-40. Bring in the olive oil.
So he asks out Jessie next, asks her for pizza. He really wants pizza.
Yeah, does he like women or just pizza?
He just wants an excuse to get pizza.
Just somebody go get pizza with me.
He wants someone else to pay. He's such a shit doctor, he doesn't get the money for it.
Right, exactly.
There we
This
go.
isn't even a real hospital. It's a bookstore.
This is all made of cardboard.
Yeah, so he's hitting on Jessie. Jessie is kind of into it, though. She's the first woman who's just kind of like, okay.
But he finds that Arbok has its own poison circulating in its body, and he has to get it out. So they take him into the emergency room. The gang and Team Rocket see each other, and you get the great James line, "The Twerp's an MD."
Yeah, I love that. So instead of being like, oh my god, the kids are here at the hospital, James just assumes that they've had medical degrees this whole time. James is like, what school did they go to?
But Team Rocket is the one that actually doesn't have time for Ash's bullshit this time. Because Ash is like, why would we help these people? They're bad. Why would we help their Pokemon? And James hits him back, we're bad, not insensitive, which is true.
Yeah, evil guys have feelings too, man.
And, like, the Pokemon are the ones hurt here. You would think Ash would actually care about that.
Oh,
with how much compassion he has for
I
them.
think he does. He was very hot-headed, though, right? Like, Ash's gut reaction when he sees Team Rocket is like, fuck you, let's fight.
Yeah, but Dr. Proctor's able to rein him in, explains, when it comes to being a doctor, there's no such thing as good guys and bad guys. We're supposed to help everybody that we can. And Ash
a doctor's
seems
job
to understand
is to
that.
heal, not to judge.
And so Proctor puts Arbok to sleep to perform the operation, which we don't see like anything of. But it's mentioned like 4 times. He
unties Arbok's knots. Arbok is knotted up, and that's it.
And then in the next shot, Arbok is knotted back up again, isn't he?
I don't know.
That's what I noticed.
They did not dive into Arbok's situation very much.
No, they didn't cut him open or anything, unfortunately. No. I would have loved to see some Arbok, innards. Would have been interesting.
Arbok innards.
Would have been a different tone for the show, but Yeah,
I would have liked to see that Arbok transfusion, right? The poison extraction, re-extraction thing.
So, meanwhile, Meowth, as he was in the start of the episode, is freaking out about he's missing his charm that's on his forehead, his lucky little coin guy thingy.
He's got a big band-aid where it used to be.
And so Chansey is trying to help him replace the charm. He says he would pay any price to do it. And so she gives him rice.
I said price, not rice.
And then she gives him a board game. I believe the game is called Go.
A Go board. Yeah. He says, I don't want to play games.
Which doesn't work in English because it's
and
English.
This next
it works in
pun
Japanese.
Doesn't work at all because apparently she thinks that he asked for a police station. She shows up with a whole police box station thing that Jenny pops out of. Like, what the hell is that?
He says, I don't want to play Find My Charm, please.
Oh, wow, I missed that.
Jenny's
police.
like, did someone call the police?
That is so good.
And then Chansey straps a Venonat to his forehead. Which, again, doesn't work in English.
No. Do you have up what the pun is supposed to be?
Yeah, so in Japanese, the word for his missing charm is Koban. Koban. So they refer to the Go board as Gobon. And Venonat is Kong Pong. Kong Pang. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's similar similar to Koban. This bowl of rice is Gohan.
Oh, Gohan, yeah.
And a police substation, it says it's spelled Koban, but there's a little line above the O. I don't know what that means.
Koban.
So it's
basically the same, yeah.
It makes more sense in Japanese. They got two of the puns in English, but they didn't bother with the other two.
Yeah, they just kind of were like, well, the animation's funny, kids will laugh. You know what? I laughed. I didn't get it, but I laughed.
It's a good sequence. Just Chansey holding a police station with one arm.
Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah,
brilliant.
like where did she get this? Did she have a Hermione-esque, infinite sack with a Jenny that lives there?
But then Chansey's had enough of Meowth's bullshit, and she just bitch slaps him into submission.
That's the best part. It's like all of these puns don't make sense in English, and Chansey's like, well, fuck this, just starts hitting him.
With this big smile on her face.
Wow, this Chansey is unhinged.
I love it. So yeah, she smacks him a bunch, bandages his forehead. She's done with him. Back to Brock. I wrote Brock and Pinsir. But no, Brock and James, I think it was. Super glue a Pinsir's horn back together.
A Pinsir's horn together, yeah.
Back to the super glue.
Yeah, glue everywhere and needles everywhere.
And then Jessie and Misty are attempting to remove a Voltorb from a Weepinbell's mouth.
And Jessie's scared of the Voltorb exploding, right?
Yes. And so during all of these little sequences, there's like this transition scene that we see where it's like a bunch of Pokemon just kind of fly across the screen. It's very like 90s transition type of thing. Yeah. Notably, in the English airing rotation, this is Porygon's debut episode, technically.
Oh, because there's a Porygon in that background.
Yeah, but Porygon's never seen physically.
Porygon also can't come out of a computer, so like, what gives?
So we see a Dodrio. All 3 of its heads have gotten all tangled and knotted up, and it's freaking out. It's not going to let anyone near it.
The 3-headed bird, whose heads are happiness, anger, and sorrow. But they note that this Dodrio's in a naughty problem. All heads are tied together, and that all heads must just be anger at this point.
So Proctor's going to try to get it with some anesthesia.
Prepare the anesthesia!
But the Dodrio spooks him. He throws the needle up out of his hands, and it ends up in his arm, knocking him out for at least 6 hours.
This was one of the best parts. The needle flips through there, lands in his arm. He goes, "That's not good." He goes, "Well, I'm going to be out for about 6 hours of sleep, so you guys got this, right?"
I'm just going to lay down here. And then Chansey covers him with a blanket. Great,
and you notice
beautiful.
It was playing the Jigglypuff motif,
yes.
the Jigglypuff tune in the background, because that's what we associate with sleep now.
So Ash's new plan is to fight Dodrio. He's going to use his Squirtle, Water Gun, and then Pikachu Thunderbolt to knock it right out. And then he knocks it out, and then his instincts kick in, and he almost tries to catch it.
Yeah. Yeah, so the whole gang has decided, well, I guess we're the doctors now.
Yeah.
And this is step one. Deal with the Dodrio. Knocks him out. He's going to catch it. Brock stops him, right? He's like, oh, we're helping. We're healing the Pokemon, not capturing them.
Like, oh, right. Yeah, that's what we're here for. And so it seems that all the Pokemon have gotten the help they need.
Yeah, we go into this montage, right, of them helping the Pokemon. Everything's going great. They didn't need the doctor. I mean, all the doctor said was use super glue over and over. But I like this montage because we just see the doctor like sleeping in the background of it, which is pretty funny.
And Meowth is still crying about his charm being missing.
Aw, poor Meowth.
But now Team Rocket, now that the Pokemon seem to be better, Team Rocket, they're enacting their plan. They're going to catch all the Pokemon while they're in their weekend state.
They're done with charity. Let's do our chant and steal these fucks.
But Meowth still won't shut up about his charm. They crash into a wall.
Yeah.
And the gang comes back. They're like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And Team Rocket's like, we're going to go for the stretcher catcher. Somehow, in all of this, they've had time to rig up Team Rocket branded robot machines. And
which are stretchers. Like, they took the hospital stretchers and somehow imbued robotic arms onto them.
When did they do this? I don't know.
They're MacGyvers. They just need like a thumbtack and an elastic band, and boom, you got a robot arm.
So James goes at Ash with this needle. We don't know what's in the needle. I'm going to assume it's something very, very bad. Before he can get at Ash, Chansey jumps in as a human a Pokemon shield, and Jessie 6 Arbok on her. But
Arbok versus Chansey.
Arbok can't bring himself to do anything to this Chansey. Neither can Weezing.
Ooh, what's going on here?
Well, Chansey helped them get better, and they don't want to hurt this Chansey. They have hearts.
Yeah, now, the hospital really represents like a place of neutrality, I think, both in terms of what is going on in this battle, but that aligning with Dr. Proctor's philosophy before here. This is not a place of judgment. This is not a law office. This is a place of healing. And I think the Pokemon understand that in a way that the humans don't.
Yeah, because they
went through it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now that Proctor's back awake, after he gives his whole spiel about compassion, Jessie throws this bottle at him. It's full of something we don't know. We don't know what any of these fluids are. I'm going to assume it's poison.
I think it looked like an IV bag.
Was it? I don't know.
I thought it looked like an IV bag she throws at so Dr. Proctor's awake again, and he's jumped in the scene.
She throws the bottle or bag at him. He fucking fruit ninjas it. And it is...
Oh, this is sick. Scalpels it in half.
That kick-ass music comes back on, where it's the one with like the electric guitar riff at the end.
Yeah, and they usually do it when a Pokemon is jumping into battle and the battle's heating up. And who's that Pokemon this week? It's Dr. Proctor. And the doctor goes, "You didn't think I'd have ammunition?" He opens his jacket, and it's full of needles, scalpels, jars of medicine.
Forceps.
He's like, "Let's go."
Is he threatening to like slice them open and let them bleed out everywhere?
He's threatening to go like medieval Inquisition doctor on them, I think.
I'm gonna go witch doctor on your ass.
Exactly, yeah.
So the gang sends the stretchers at them. They run from them. They Kool-Aid Man right through the wall.
Oh, beautiful.
But James was able to grab a Voltorb on the way out.
I grabbed a Pokemon. Voltorb. That's a Voltorb.
Blow up, they go blasting off again.
And this is where we get a great reveal. Conveniently in this explosion, the Band-Aid on Meowth's head comes off. He had the charm all along.
Yeah, it wasn't missing. It was just sunk into his forehead.
Bandaged. Oh,
so,
goodness.
Back at the hospital, Proctor invites the gang to stay and study with him and be his assistants and whatnot. But they have other dreams to take care of. Misty notes that, maybe she actually would, but she has some other stuff she wants to do first, and then maybe she'll go back.
I mean, yeah, really? They're gonna put aside their amazing Pokemon journey to hang out with this fucking pedophile of a doctor in the worst hospital ever, which is basically a super glue factory. Wow, I don't know why they turned you down, Dr. Proc.
Either way, that's the episode.
Yeah. All right, literary hour. Yeah, I struggled with this one too. You know, there's tons of medical TV shows, ER, Grey's Anatomy. You know, there is a classic book, I believe, The English Patient. I don't think that's that much to do with hospitals in the hospital drama kind of sense. I think that is so. You have to forgive me, okay? Because I'm gonna bring up a book I talk about way too much.
Is it Lord of the fucking Rings?
Yeah, it is Lord of the Rings. So, okay, so because the theme here is about being in a situation where a task that seemingly isn't fit for you being thrust onto you, rising to the occasion, and it being the task for you. It's a way of, hey, we don't really know what this crazy thing of life is going to carry out for us. And if we rise to the occasion, even the most unassuming people can do great things. And that's one of the core themes of Lord of the Rings. So even you who know nothing about Lord of the Rings, I think you know that it's about hobbits. There's these like little folk who have to take a ring to a mountain to destroy it. The hobbits are the most unassuming of creatures. We've got humans, we've got elves, we've got dwarves. They're all of these great sort of societies. The hobbits are not known about. The enemy doesn't know about them, and they're the ones who then are thrust into the situation of having to deal with a magical ring, and they rise to the occasion and they do the job that's thrust on them. I think that's the core theme here. The gang finds themselves in a situation where they're out of their element. They are not physicians. They are kids. And they find themselves in this situation where they're the only ones who can do it. And they rise to the occasion and they help out all these Pokemon while Dr. Proctor is asleep. So I think that is the closest theme that I could think of anyways.
It's always Lord of the Rings. We can't get away from Lord of the Rings.
I'm sorry. But it's just like, it's got all the themes, man. It's got them all.
I wipe off the whiteboard episode since Lord of the Rings analogy. Back to 0.
Yeah, episode since he's mentioned hobbits. 0. Oh my god. That's hilarious.
All right, let's rate it and then get out of here. First category for a Chansey Operation. The featured Pokemon flavor. There's a lot of Pokemon. I don't think there's a featured Pokemon. One featured Pokemon.
Oh, flavor if you would eat it? Is that
one?
Oh, Chansey. It would be Chansey's the featured
I guess
Pokemon.
so, yeah. She is the namesake of the episode.
Right. So would Chansey taste like an egg?
Well, the egg would.
It's like an omelet Pokemon. Chansey, the omelet Pokemon. If you eat her, she tastes like breakfast food. When you eat her, she tastes like all of the breakfast foods at once. Pancakes, bacon, sausage.
Or, like, Chansey has the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Would Chansey itself taste like chicken?
Oh, a giant round... Man, Chansey's lucky that she's not in our worlds, because, like, corporations would run her amok. We would genetically engineer Chanseys to be these, like, giant mass meat machines who have, like, no lives and just sit there until they die and they can't even see. And then we feast on their giant chicken breasts. Oh, my God.
That makes me sad now.
That's what we actually do to chickens, you know that?
Yeah, I know. Don't make me face the real world.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
That's rude.
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, the egg would taste good.
We're going to give this episode a depression out of 10.
The egg would taste good. I don't know if Chansey itself would taste good. I'm going to say 6 then.
I think she would taste good. Like, look at her. She's like a meaty thing.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of fat in there, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Marbling.
Ooh. Okay, 8. I'm going 8.
Yeah, I'll meet your 8. Yeah.
And category number 2 will be the humor. That's a good one.
Oh, it's at least a 9. This is, for a Pokemon episode, this is a funny episode.
It is. All the Pokemon problems, the super glue.
Yeah, the Dr. Proctor getting the needle in him and going, this isn't good.
Pikachu swallowing an entire apple. Brock's self-awareness.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good one.
It's a good one.
The Twerps and MD.
I don't think I want to go with 10 because
I'll meet you at 9.
It's missing a couple like of those hilarious Pikachu faces that we've seen in other episodes. If it had like one of the, like if you put the Pikachu Dynamite moment from last episode in this episode, it would be a 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
But since it is missing that, yeah, I can't go higher than a 9.
Yeah, I'll meet you there. So that's 9 for that. That is 8.5 for a Chansey Operation. Good episode.
Wow. Yeah, we rate that a lot higher than some of your childhood favorites, don't we? Shout us out in the comments if you want to help improve our rating system by giving ideas for more categories. Always open ears.
The King of All Filler, better than the iconic Butterfree episode.
Well, here's the thing. When you're a kid and you're waiting, for a new episode and you want some plot, you want some movement, you want some action, it's a different experience. When you're an adult and you are rewatching episodes for a Pokemon comedy rewatch podcast, the episodes hit a little bit differently. Yeah, exactly.
But that's everything we got for today.
Yep, we did it.
That is today's episode.
From pizza in Paris to shitty doctors in a weird hospital.
You want to know what we're doing next week?
Yes. Please tell me.
Next week, we're hitting episode 50.
Whoa!
For 50 episodes now. It's Holy Matrimony.
Oh,
and
baby.
Episode 51, so near yet so far-fetched.
Far-fetched, ooh.
Yeah, we're seeing far-fetched.
Oh, far-fetched would taste so good. Comes with an onion.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason it's like a rare Pokemon in the games, because canonically, people eat it. And it's kind of endangered.
Oh, wow. Almost can't stop eating it. Crazy.
Yep. So that'll be next week. So join us for that. It's going to be a good time. It better be a good time.
Oh, yeah. It's always a good time. Some of our times are probably better than others, but even our worst time is better than, I don't know, taking a painful shit.
It's like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, pizza and sex. Isn't that what they say? Actually, no, not sex. I take that back. Pizza, yes. Well, it's that time of the episode again. The end of it.
Certainly is.
What else do we got to do? Our outro thing? Is what we're waiting for?
That.
Okay.
I just kind of let you
I couldn't remember what the end of the episode is. Okay, shout us out in the comments on YouTube. We're on the Skittlewickers YouTube channel. You can find our podcasts there. You can also email us directly at 2kill@delibird@gmail.com. Intro and outro music is 80 Synthwave by Alexi Action. You can find us wherever fine podcasts are downloaded if you prefer the strict audio format. Yeah, and if you have any feedback about the pizza in Paris, if you want to hear more of that, there are plenty of variations we can do, but we will spice things up as we can as well. So stay tuned for what kind of antics are to follow.
Yeah, how many weeks of that do we have to do before it gets old?
I don't know. I don't think we can bring it on forever. Unless we can. We'll only do it forever if you tell us to. But no, we'll probably think of something else.
Even then, we'll get sick of it.
I'm already sick of it. No, I don't. I think it's hilarious. But anyway.
All right. Well, we'll see you next Monday. It's the day
Monday.
I'm going to take a guess what I'm going to go do.
What? Street Fighter 6?
Fuck
You're going to meet
Zelda.
me online?
No.
Oh.
God damn it. No, why would I ever do that? I have Zelda waiting for me in my Switch.
Okay. All right. See ya.
Some people.